Hey sis, are you trying to help somebody and what's making it exhausting is no matter what you say or do, they're not changing. Mm-mm. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're not changing. Like you're explaining, you're trying to be supportive, you're trying to make it make sense or make things make sense, but it feels like you're the only one trying. So now you're sitting here wondering, why isn't anything changing? Like, what? Why is nothing changing? What else? What else can I even do? That's what you're sitting here wondering, right? But sometimes the hardest thing to accept is you can't fix somebody. You absolutely cannot fix anybody. Nope. If they're not willing to change, there's nothing you could do about it. They have to want to change first. Mm-hmm. Yep. So let's talk about it. Let's get all up into it. Because, again, you cannot change somebody who's not ready to change themselves. No matter how much you want them to change, if they don't want to change, they're not changing. Mm-mm. And the more you try, the more drained you start to feel. Not them, you. The more you try, the more drained you start to feel. Yeah. Because now what happens is you start carrying their growth, their healing, their responsibility. Now you're carrying all that. It's not even yours to carry, it's their growth, their healing, their responsibility. And all that's dumped on you. Yep. And that it wasn't even yours to carry. It was not yours to carry at all. And the thing is, and this may be hard to hear sometimes, but again, this is our channel is about truth telling, and we're it's a growth channel, so I'm always gonna be honest with you. But sometimes we stay longer than we should. Yep. Sometimes you're staying way longer than you should because sometimes you're connected to someone who could be somebody who has potential. Yep, a project instead of accepting who they are right now. Mm-hmm. And that is what keeps you stuck. Yep. Because you're looking at the potential that they have or what they could be or what you hope they would be or what you could see them developing into versus who they are right now or what they're showing you, the behaviors. And that's what keeps you stuck because while you're trying to fix it or fix them, they're not changing. They're staying the same. They're not budging because they're not ready to change. So there's nothing to fix because they feel like, what you trying to fix me for? I'm fine. Because they feel fine because they don't want to change. They're fine with who they are and where they are right now. And they're not ready to change. Yep. And so what happens is over time that then creates like an imbalance. Yep. Because what ends up happening is you give more, you're trying more, you're holding more, and they're not meeting you there. They're here, and you're here. Yeah. But here's where the shift happens. So, like, healing begins when you stop trying to change somebody. Like, you can't change people. And when you start accepting what they're showing you. Maya Angelou had a quote that I posted on my Instagram, and I might post it again, but it says, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. So again, start accepting who they show you. And I know it's not easy. We've all been there. We've all been, including myself, trying to help somebody, trying, wishing the best, seeing their growth potential or what they could be instead of seeing what the reality is. What are you showing me right now, though? Yep. Because the thing is letting go of who somebody could be means facing who they actually are. Oof, that's stuck. Letting go of what somebody could be means that you are facing who they actually are. But guess what, sis? That's where your peace. That's where you get your peace at, though. That's where your peace comes in, because peace doesn't come from fixing people. Once you let all that go, it's a big weight. You feel like you've been weighted down and thrown in the pool because you carrying all this stuff. And once you let that stuff go and you focus on you and yourself, you become so free. You feel like you just fly. You so free because you were weighted down with all that stuff that you didn't need to be weighted down with. And so that's where your peace is going to start coming in at, because it doesn't come from fixing people. It comes from accepting them. Yep. Because guess what? God never asked you to carry somebody else's transformation. God didn't ask you to carry somebody else's transformation. We are only responsible for our own individual transformation, because we know when we're ready for change. We know when we're ready to grow. Yep. And God's not asking you to transform anybody, because guess what? That's God's job to transform them. We can't do God's job and all that heavy lifting. That's way too much for us. So let God handle it. He knows the beginning and the end. He knows even if they even gonna change it all and when. Okay? So let him do the heavy lifting. That's his work, not your responsibility. So your responsibility is to stay aligned and protect your peace. Yep. So I hope this helped you, because if you've been feeling tired, or you've been trying to fix somebody that won't even change and you're so exhausted from doing that, this is your reminder. Okay, sis? I'm reminding you that you can love somebody and still let them be responsible for themselves. Yep. So I hope this message helped you. And if it did, give you some clarity. And if there was parts in there where you were like, whoa, oh my God, that's so true, make sure you give me a thumbs up to let me know that you're feeling the message or it touched you in some type of way. And if it did touch you and you like the content, then make sure you like and subscribe and turn your notifications on. We're trying to grow the channel. It's a new channel. For those who don't know, my name's Melinda. I'm a life coach, a registered nurse, and a mentor. And our channel focus on faith, healing, and emotional wellness. And as a nurse, I kind of research things, and I like to look up and understand like why people do what they do, or why, what happens when we feel like this, or why are we feeling like this, or how can we get out of this, and how can we change our mindset on different things. I do some things on grief because I've dealt with that in like a couple years ago, and it kind of lingers, so I did some stuff on grief. But anyway, long story short, if this is a content for you, if you like what I'm putting down, or like the information, and if you like hearing things that are researched, like I look up research things, and I do a lot of topics based around like different things that can help us heal, because I'm a nurse, and so I love learning. So again, if this touches you, or just like and subscribe. And as always, I'm wishing you peace, love, joy, and happiness. All right. I hope you have a wonderful, marvelous day.